What's up YouTube? Welcome back to another video here on Emkwan Vlogs. I'm Emkwan. Peace and blessings all out there. I'm praying hope you guys are well. So I'm on my morning commute to work. It's clouds in the sky, which for some odd reason out here is usually an indication that we might have a lot of traffic. There's been a lot of traffic recently anyway. People are back to work, people are back in their usual routine. So the roads are chock-a-block at the moment. Anyway, today's video is going to be a bit of a discussion video. I'm doing this video because I have been inundated by you guys asking me questions about moving to the UAE. You want to know what it's like to move to the UAE, very specific questions. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to put this video together, moving to the UAE, moving to Dubai and Abu Dhabi, 5 things you need to know. And I want to try and group a lot of those kind of similar questions that I get asked into this one video. So I hope it's helpful. Now, before I get into this, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Find that subscribe button, hit that subscribe button so that you are notified whenever the videos like this or other videos go up from me. And if you're already an existing subscriber, find that bell button. It's usually around the subscribe button. Click that bell button so that you're notified via phone or email whenever a new video goes live. So let's get on with today's video. Point number 1 is most people want to know, are there plenty of jobs? Is it easy to get a job out here? And the reality is that unfortunately, most of the people that are asking me these questions, based on the research that I've done and based on the information that you've given me, it appears to be that you are perhaps from Europe, from the US, from even the Far East, but in terms of qualifications, in terms of education, those type of jobs, they are available here in Dubai and Abu Dhabi, but they tend to be very specialized. And at the moment, given with all the kind of economic situation going on in this part of the world in terms of oil, the jobs aren't as many as you would assume. Some people tend to assume when they come here on holiday that it's really easy to just get a job in services, get a job in customer services, some of those related industries. Once I get there, then I can kind of move on to another job. That's a bit problematic because a lot of those jobs, they tend to be reserved for individuals of a particular background and a particular education level. So if you try and apply for those jobs, you might be seen as overqualified. And also the other thing is the salary packages that those jobs offer are very difficult to kind of maintain a quality of life that you might be comfortable with. So the answer to that question is yes, there are jobs available. It might be worth waiting a while and doing research and perhaps even specializing in a key area that once after your research you've identified, you can kind of focus on and look at applying to. Point number 2, living out here in the UAE. How expensive is it? Reality is, living here, whether you're in Dubai or Abu Dhabi or any of the other Emirates that make up the United Arab Emirates, it's very expensive. I find living out here that it's actually more expensive than living in the UK. Not necessarily in London, but in other parts of the United Kingdom. Because a big part of that is the fact that the rents are so high here. Some of the costs in terms of, you know, food, service costs, you get used to once you're out here. But when I go back to the UK, I realize when I compare it like for like, it's actually much more expensive. Also explains why a lot of people are paid as high or as highly as they are here in the UAE. And that's very interesting because every time you go back to the UK or I talk to friends and I give them a ballpark figure of how much I get paid, they are shocked. They say, wow, that's an amazing salary. But a lot of people don't realize that actually in some cases between 40, and that's on the lower, really lower end, all the way up to on the maximum end, some people can pay as much as 70% of their monthly salary go into just their upkeep. So we're talking about rents, food costs, you know, cost for cars, anything else that is related to that. So it's very important to A, understand that, and B, also understand that if you're aiming for a particular job, once you get given a contract, you need to be really careful about looking at whether or not that's going to be sustainable for you, and if you're bringing your family over, whether or not that's going to be sustainable for your family. And that brings me on to point number 3, contracts. When you are moving to the UAE, one of the things to be aware of is the fact that your contract really makes or breaks your experience. The contract that you're offered for your employment, for your job, tends to be a contract that has a lot of details, and it's very important to get to the bottom of the details. Really important to figure out how those details will affect your day-to-day living and affect, if you're bringing your family over, their day-to-day living. 5 years ago, 4 years ago when I got out here, a lot of the contracts included education allowance for children. Education out here is not free. It's very expensive, and in some cases can be the difference between making a profit year on year, being out here in the UAE, or basically being in loss. Now, some people have that education allowance included in their contract, but some people won't. So it's very important to make sure that you read through the terms and conditions, and if certain things are not included and you do research and you find out that other people in your industry are getting paid that, then it's very important to kind of communicate that and try and negotiate on that contract as well. So that is point number 3. Point number 4, understand where you are going. Understand the culture, understand the people, understand the likes, the dislikes, the do's, the don'ts. Once you've made that decision to move out here, you're moving essentially to a completely new country. And when you move out here, it's very different to when you are a tourist visiting. So you only get a snap kind of realization of where you are. But when you're moving out here, it can be much more permanent. So it's important to understand there are certain things that UAE is a great country because there's a lot of stuff that you can do. There's a lot of things that are permitted here, and it sometimes can throw people off because when they get out here they can assume everything is allowed, but that isn't the case. Different Emirates have different rules, so it's important to do a bit of research, to ask your PRO once you get a contract, once you're in with a company. Ask your co-workers, ask people that have already been out here, ask on forums, so that you get an idea for life out here in the UAE. And point number 5, the final point, is this: once you make the move, it's really important to understand that as an expat, as a visitor, as a foreigner living in this country, you're not guaranteed to be here permanently. So it's very important to make achievable plans. Those people that maximize their experiences here are those that understand that they're going to be here for a limited time. So in terms of making money, be clear about your goals and be clear about what your short-term, medium-term, long-term goals are. And also, one of the really sad things is that when people get out here and then they end up going back to their host countries, you bump into them or you get talking to them, one of the biggest regrets they have is not actually experiencing the country enough. This country is an amazing country, so once you move out here, it's very important to make use of all of the facilities that you have out here, all the opportunities that you have out here. You know, we have world-class experiences, locations, restaurants, you know, natural resources as well, in terms of beautiful mountains down in Ras Al Khaimah. You know, you've got beautiful deserts. Make the most of it. Don't be one of those people that regrets the experience, that you either work too hard or you don't spend enough time enjoying and understanding the country. So guys, that's it. Those are my 5 things to consider when you're moving out here to the United Arab Emirates. I hope you found this helpful. I'm going to post some videos that you can click on that are related to like subjects. So if you want to go and check those out, be sure to click them. And again, if you're new to the channel, please do consider hitting that subscribe button. I'll see you guys for another video on Sunday. Until then, looks like I'm stuck in traffic now. Until next time, I'm Emkwan. Peace and blessings.